Hey guys, what is up? NYK31 here, Madden 20. This is going to be another installment of the coverage breakdown and tutorial series. We've pretty much hit the ball now. We've gone over, just to recap, we've gone over cover 3, spot drop and match, concepts and weaknesses. Cover 2, we've done quarters, did some man coverage. Way back in the beginning, I have the links to all of them in the comment section below pinned. If you guys want to backtrack and retrack, or if you haven't watched those and you're relatively new, you guys can go back and go over that stuff. Excuse me. Now for this video, we're going to be we'll be going over the last of the split field coverages. We're going to go over cover 6 and cover 9. Now in this video, we're going to be we'll be going over the last of the split field coverages, cover 6 and cover 9. What is cover 6/cover 9? Combination coverage. As the name implies, cover 6 is a combination of cover 2 and quarters coverage, hence cover 6. And it's kind of the blade of coverages. My Marvel fans will get that reference. It's got all of the strengths of quarters and all of the strengths of cover 2 and all of their weaknesses, both in real life and in the game. So the same issues and strengths that you see with cover 4 and cover 2, when you play those coverages, you'll see them both when you're playing on the quarter side and on the cover 2 side. Where it does well against those concepts, you'll see done well in the game. Now, why would you play this? It gives you a way to show some disguise out of your 2 deep shell and still have 7 men in the run fit. You're only losing 1 run fit defender out of a 2 deep alignment, and you have a safety fitting strong side run. So against your spread shotgun run game, you're not going to be losing too much in the box as far as that's concerned. Now what the game does not do, does not differentiate which side of the field the back is aligning. It's against a gun doubles formation. It's always going to treat the speed side, the side with the 2 detached receivers, as a strong side, no matter if the back is lined up away or on the same side, or no matter if the ball is on the hash or the boundary. Like for example, if we came out in doubles flex HB weak, you see here that the strong side is still the speed side. Your run fit safety is now on that same side as well. You're not going to have this safety here on the we'll call it the big side as opposed to the speed side here in the run fit. If I see this, I would want to actually flip the play. Whoops, wrong controller, jeez. Get back over there. There we go. So if I see this, if I see the halfback on the speed side, I would want to flip this sucker so I can have that safety on the strong side run side, quote unquote, run fit. Now why would I do that? Well, it's simple. No one in Madden runs weak side shotgun runs. In general, people in Madden, they don't run weak side runs. They're going to be running to the field. They're not running to the boundary hardly ever. So why lose a safety in a run fit going away from the play? I'd rather just flip it and have the strong safety always fitting to the side of the run. Now, if you have C9 in your audibles, you don't have to do that. You can just call C9 and you're fine. C9 is just cover 6 in reverse. For example, same formation. Now you have your safety on the quarter side on the heavy side, and cover 2 is being played to the speed side. So now you have your, so now you're more balanced here in your run fits versus shotgun runs you're most likely to see. If someone runs a shotgun counter, God bless them. But the law of averages, 99 opponents out of 100 you play in the online streets, they're running inside zone, they're running base, they're running zone read. If they run halfback counter, it's pretty easy to scrape with your user and, you know, account for that by yourself. You don't really got to fear a shotgun counter that much. So you're better off just having your safety fitting heavy side. Now in the real world, that's not quite the case. In the real world, teams will run speed or trips into the boundary to see how you react to it. They'll make you account to having to defend everything. But in the Madden world, people generally keep it, you know, simple. They want to run trips to the wide side. They want to run to the wide side. They want to run to where most numbers are. They want to throw to where most numbers are, most grass is. So in response, you keep it simple too. Cover 6 when they're 2x2 like this and running strong side. If they flip that back, cover 9. If they play trips, I prefer cover 9 as well, which you'll see later on. But as far as route distribution, it's going to be the same deal. You're playing match quarters there on the quarter side, so it's 2 read between the safety and the corner. Safety is reading the release of number 2, and he's going to be matching vertical. Corner, same thing with number 1. On the cover 2 side, you have the vertical hook. He should be gaining depth of 10 to 12 yards and obstructing the seam release. Safety, following cover 2 rules, getting off his landmark to the numbers, and this corner again forcing an obstructed release, trying to shrink that sideline, all that good stuff. The 3 receiver hook, he's going to open up to the strong side. The 3 receiver hook side is the side to the back, and he's going to match first short to intermediate crosser. So in a route concept like this, we're running shallow cross, Sanu is going to be in that area where he's going to be considered vertical. So the safety should be matching him, the quarter flat defender should be obstructing his route release, and the corner is going to be matching Julio Jones vertical. That's what should be happening. Let's see how it plays out. Again, this is an automated animation here. He's always going to give himself up, which is irritating, as we all know. So we got a bracket here. He's going to come down on this shallow crosser here. One-on-one shot there. The receiver hook, he opens up to the strong side. Once he passes off this crosser here, because again, he knows he has underneath help, he works back to the strong side here. Vertical hook does not do a great job of getting depth, and we'll see. Again, we've seen this in cover 2 before, where that vertical hook, he does not always gain great depth. Again, you'd never come down this route as a vertical hook defender. Because again, you don't know the structure of your defense. You know that 3 strong is going to be accounted for once his under is passed off. He's got to play it like, you know, cover 2, looking out for a potential throw into this window here. And then rally back to the ball thrown short. Now we'll see how that's going to be a problem. Instead of having him run an out, let's have him run a square in. Madden calls it Portland. You know, you can call it pin. It's Mills. I mean, it's technically not a. It's basically a variation of a Mills concept. You have the post on one side, the square in this case coming from the opposite side instead of the same side. Your classic Mills concept is, you know, this. And the vertical hook is biting down. I got hit there, but you see he's going to bite down and leave that window wide open. You know, the 3 rec, he's going to pass him off and go back to the strong side. The vertical hook, you know, I really got to cover that 3-yard route. I really got to do it. And leaves a wide open throwing lane. He needs to be dropping back. Again, just like in cover 2, he's at the 38. He needs to be dropping back right around here, the 48. That way he can either drive down or be right in the way. Now, this is the crazy thing about this game. You saw how poorly he played that, you know, Dagger concept, or that, not Dagger concept, but Portland concept. Watch how well he plays 4 verts. 4 verts, he does his damn job. Matched up, only shot I have is that whole shot to the sideline. Again, this game with its consistency, with how logic translates. And of course, you know, the same issue. I mean, the break on ball threshold or the break on ball tuning helped, but you can still hit this whole shot here. Gilmore actually does a really bad job of choking that off, and the safety just doesn't get off until, you know, well after the ball is released. Did a better job there. But again, it's hard to tell whether he did a better job just because he did a better job, or whether he rerouted him inside because it's automated. Hard to tell. Or random. Now if we ram play action Dagger, I'm going to cancel the play action out. Run Dagger. Let's see how well the vertical hook plays this, and how the safety reacts as well to the cover 2 side. Again, the quarter side, nothing should change. You should have just straight match here between the vertical releases on the left. Vertical hook is nowhere to be found. He just pops a squat. The safety lets the guy cross his face, and it's an easy completion. You know, matched here after the reroute. Julio just wins off the in cut here, which, you know, the technique needs to be better here. That's a route that would get behind that, or beat that rather, based off of how a quarters corner would be playing leverage-wise. It just looks terrible when it is in motion in the game because of the technique is pretty sloppy. On the other side, yeah, 3-rack opens up, does his thing, passes him off, sinks back into the short hole. It's a pretty good job of getting back with some depth, but you know that's going to be thrown over his head. Vertical hook. He drops back pretty well, but pops a squat. When I play this coverage, this is the guy who I use more often than not, because I can either run with this or recognize when that's being thrown if I get him off of throwing the post. But you see here again the same problem with the cover 2 safeties. Only one vertical threat. Once he's no longer threatening the sideline, a cover 2 safety has to top this. He has to drive at an angle, 45-degree angle, and top this post route. He just lets him cross all that grass. Easy completion. Again, not the easiest play in the world for Hasty to make in space against a wide receiver, but you want to make the throw as difficult as possible. You want to contest and top the route. You don't just give it to him. No cover 2 safety would ever play that way and be in the league for very long. Simple as that. Now, let's say you wanted to middle third, that 3-receiver hook. You can always do that and use that quarter flat there to bracket anything that's coming, you know, shallow crosswise. That's an option that you can do as well. I'll take that post shot away. Or you can use that guy and make a beeline. I mean, there's things you can do to account for that, but just be aware of that. In order to play a healthy dose of cover 6, you simply have to be good at using one of those 3 spots. You either have to use this guy, or this guy. And if you're going to be using the quarter flat defender, you know, change this guy to a deep third, and then you know you can just chuck this guy and pass him off and peel to anything that's coming underneath late. Just be aware of that. Now here's how the same concept would look against cover 9. Now cover 9, like I said, is the inverse. The quarter side is to the heavy side now, and the cover 2 side is to the speed side. And on the cover 2 side, you'll notice they're playing cover 2 sink, trap 2. If you remember a trap 2 concept, well, they should be playing trap 2 rather. Trap 2 is a 2-read concept where the corner is reading from 2 to 1. If number 2 runs quick to the flat, he will sink down and jump it, and the safety would overlap number 1. Or he should. Again, same thing as in the cover 2 sink example in my last video. They get half of it right. In trap 2, again, little speed cut. The corner will jump number 2 to the flat. Now what needs to be happening, this logic is not in the game, safety is now in man match with the new number 1. So he would have to top him man to man. Then everything else is the same. And on the quarter side, let's just do the same thing again. So here we're going to run a switch concept to the left, to the weak side, and a levels concept here to the receiver side. So again, the 3-rec hook, this is cover 6, should be opening up, strong. Vertical hook needs to do his thing as far as depth is concerned. Quarter flat to the weak side. If that number 2 receiver shoots out, he is going to carry, and the safety should climb over the top, and the vertical bison news is a straight man-to-man coverage. Okay, so reroute, sync, check his depth. There's a really good job here by the 3-rec. The flat's going to be vulnerable here to this side. The vertical hook is going to be in conflict here. You're playing cover 2 here to this side, so you're fine with that. Opens up to the flat. Again, this is not palms, so he's got to climb over the top of number 1, or number 2 rather, and he matches switch release there. Alright, going to run the same concept, that same flanker dig concept against cover 6 trap. Now this version of cover 6 is in one formation in the entire goddamn game. Big nickel over G. Why, I do not know. But again, going back to our trap 2 rules, the game halfway plays trap 2, meaning that corner is going to be playing 2 read, while the safety isn't playing 2 read, or you'll be matching vertical number 1. Now, if let's say we shoot Hooper into the flat, we'll keep Freeman in the block. What will happen here is that Gilmore will trap that flat after baiting that he's going to be carrying, and with this type of route combination, the vertical hook and 3-rec should account for that hole. Which they do. The 3-rec does an excellent job of finding that. Again, he's reading number 2. Again, we don't love the vertical hook depth consistently, but the 3-rec, he finds it like a fiend. Let's go. That's excellent. Now, of course, if we, I don't know, let's put him on the flat and just shoot Julio Jones out. We're back to that stuff. Oh, this game giveth and taketh. If we kept the play stock, you get just insane movement out of Gilmore. My lord. Now there's no number 2 to the flat. 3-rec is going to find open up to the strong receiver side. He's going to match the back to the flat. Gilmore is basically now a man-to-man. Julio chucks him, but all that does is just gets him bracketed. That's insane. That's nuts. And ugly looking. Nothing happened, nothing changes there, nothing changes here. Let's empty the backfield. Let me see what happens here if I empty the backfield. Can I empty the backfield? No, I can't empty the backfield. Where this is really nice is against trips. So what should happen here is man on deep for the trip side with the outside corner Stephon Gilmore, and normal quarters rules between the quarter flat, the safety, and the 3-rec. That's what should happen. And the safety goes into La La Land on that trip side there. I don't know why he does this. All he's got to do is match him vertical. This is man-to-man coverage. For some reason, he decides to haul tail over here. Again, this is man on deep, so it becomes 2-read between these two defenders here on these two receivers. So for the safety, this guy is number 2. But he gets lost. He borks out. Another major issue is against trips. And the problem here against 4 verts is that quarter flat as well. He is not going to get his hands on number 2, and the vertical hook does a terrible job on number 3 coming across. So you can snap throw that. And if someone is not using that vertical hook, because number 3 is going to get, the 3-rec's going to wall him off initially before coming down. The vertical hook has to be there to replace him. Again, this opens up the gate right away, and I have a throwing lane right now. The 3-rec is walling off this dude because he's expecting the vertical hook to basically create a 2-on-1 bracket. Technically, it could be even a 3-on-1, really, because again, in a soft squat, he's going to be matching vertical releases, which would free up the safety to kind of be able to read the next number 2. But once he clears the 3-rec, the 3-rec's going to come back down. He's wide open. Look how big this window is. This is, over 10 yards of just open space. Alright, we'll go up against... There's stuff you gotta watch out for, obviously. You know, with hot routes, people can hook up or cook up, but, you know, generally speaking, I like C9 versus Trips and Bunch. Again, you have quarters here to the solo side, cover 2 soft squat to the trip side or bunch side, so we know that the trips check for quarters is solo, so you can just go ahead and just man up your solo side receiver on Julio Jones. It prevents those delayed transitions when the receiver runs an under route. The quarter flat will account for any wheel coming out of the backfield, which doesn't really apply in this case. Now, the weak side safety, he's going to look for number 3 if he's going vertical, and you have a mid-read there as well, which is what I usually use her. So on a route concept like this, the weak side safety should be accounting for Hooper vertical. You know, a simple route combination, I just wanted to demonstrate the concept. You know, let's put Julio on an under route, and we'll, you know, man him up. Let's put, yeah, we'll the way it is just for the heck of it. So you see, same deal. I'm going to show you the difference with the solo side quarter flat. You see how he just, see when I manned him up, he just, you know, plays man coverage. You see the difference? Twice in a row I got that damn two-handed chuck animation. You see the separation. So just go ahead and man him up. Let's say, I don't know, let's put him on an under route. Let's wheel Freeman out of the backfield. See what happens. Quarter flat goes out. Wow, the vertical hook chased. That's really weird. Wonder what triggered that. The only thing I can think of is that you know, he's going under, wheel. Nothing should change for him. Mid reads here. Why does a vertical hook do this? Huh. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. That is strange. That's weird. Now, a couple of things you need to look out for, like when they run 4 verts, and number 3 wheels out, he's technically no longer number 3, so New is at number 3 because he is going up the seam. So against 4 verts, he wheels out, he goes up the seam. Got a bit of a window here. The mid read. And the weak safety overlap here. He's kind of spot dropping, it looks like. So you gotta be on the lookout for things like that. I mean, you got a hole there. Let's do that again. Whoops, threw the wrong guy. I want to throw to the hooper. Let's try that again. Yeah, he's getting good depth. That's a tough throw to make. So I have no complaint about that. My concern is this safety going static though against that, which he should be just looking to find the new number 3. I mean, it's good that the mid-read actually matches this. That's excellent. Now, something that you got to look out for is stuff like this. This can work out that weak side safety, stuff like this. I mean, you know how people roll. Let's put him into block. You know, drag. So, you know, that's how it looks. And we're going to send Hooper right up the seam. You see here that that can cause an issue. They don't quite know how to handle that. Do that again. You know, those are the things that you have to look out for. And you can account that, and you got to look out for that as a user. You know, say anything with stuff like bunch trail and how you can jazz that up. But generally speaking, when someone shows me that they can attack palms out of trips, I'll go to C9 out of verse trips and go from there. Like sometimes this little angle route by Hooper will confuse the mid-read, doesn't quite know how to find it like that. Like you see how he's kind of confused there? He doesn't quite know what to look for. That's the way that route develops. You know, what we should have here is the mid-read. You know, he opens up the right way. He just needs to keep on finding the work. And again, I'd be using this guy, so when I see that, I just jump him. And you got man coverage here, and this is, you know, Julio Jones. Again, you get that chuck there. That's why, another reason why I convert him to man coverage myself. And this safety has to cut or rob or bracket. He's got to do something. He just can't sit into la la land. Because technically, there's no number 3 vertical for him. Once there's no number 3 vertical, again, he's a free player. He can either bracket this, which he should be doing, because the mid-read would be able to have this guy. So you'd correct that with usering, and also, you know, correct those two-handed zone chucks that leave you giving up separation with just changing him to man coverage. Because he's man-locked anyway. But you see here the issue there with the mid-read and that route working him out. He never picks it up. So, you know, that's that. Next video I'll do is I'll just do a full defensive play calling walkthrough using weekend league footage so you can see it out in the streets and just kind of like talk through it. But, you know, that's it. I mean, those are the split field coverages. I'm not going to go over 4-lock palms and 6 invert. They're such rare situational calls that I don't really feel like doing them. I mean, unless you guys want, but I mean, all 6 invert is is instead of the safety having the deep half, the corner does. But you don't want to do that on a long field the way deep halves play. And forelock palms is you man lock the weak side, play palms on the strong side. That's all that is. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoy.